Hotep, Hotep, brothers and sisters. My name is Jahi, and I'm with the Liberation Center SA. And today, as you notice, I'm sitting at a park. I'm enjoying nature. I hear the birds chirping. The sun is coming up. And I'm just enjoying that which our Creator has given to us. But I wanted to talk to you today about a specific program. It's a youth program. But the youth program that I want to talk about and discuss is only a program for African American youth, descendants of slaves, or Native American youth. Youth programs are supposed to be designed to help those maturing from the ages of maybe from 10 to about 25 or so. And the activities are usually geared toward the development through education, through intervention, through social life, through recreation, as well as prevention. But the program that I'm going to get into now is a program of ignorance, non-interference, a program of destruction, a program of indifference and assistance by the society that our precious young ones are being held hostage in as I speak to you. The youth program that our young ones are currently in right now as I speak, the youth program is filled with ignorance. Now, don't take me wrong this morning. Don't get me twisted or get me bent, because I'm not talking about our youth being ignorant. I'm talking about the ignorance by the adults, the ignorance of us who don't understand their real issues, because our youth are struggling right now. We're losing too many of our youth because of the real issues that they face that we don't have the time for and that we don't understand. Some of the issues that our youth face, if they were to be honest with you, these issues range from A to Z. I mean, they're dealing with so many challenges. You look at the mass incarceration of our young ones. You look at unemployment as well as underemployment. You look at molestation, verbal abuse, psychological abuse, physical abuse. You look at the gender roles, that they don't even know whether they're women or that whether they're men. You look at sex, you look at drugs. I mean, you look at all these issues that our youth are faced with today. And we as adults, we're so unintelligent of those types of issues. And therefore, because of our ignorance, our youth are struggling and suffering big time. Not only are our youth struggling because of our ignorance, they're struggling because of the non-interference on our behalf. Because many of us are failures. We have become failures to our youth because we refuse to intervene in the matters that affect their lives greatly. And this is why their future is hanging in the balance right now. Most of the time, we don't get involved with our youth unless there's something heinous that happened, as far as maybe them doing something they shouldn't do, or that they're killed by a racist cop. Then we want to put our 2 cents in. But other than that, we're hands off. We have nothing to do with them. We criticize them, we complain, we murmur, we gripe about their lifestyle, but then we're not interfering in that lifestyle. And this is why our youth are the way they are. We even look back to the educational system that our youth are struggling in today. I mean, our youth are going through so much from an academic perspective. But many of us, because we don't want to interfere, we allow them to go into these schools and to be given drugs to sedate them, to not know who they are, to not know their history, to not know their culture, to not know anything about themselves. And then when they get out of school, should they do so, instead of us trying to start something for them educationally, we just complain about the system and not take our own responsibility in trying to help our children, our youth, our young people. Another thing that we're dealing with today is our youth are living a program of destruction. Oh yes, our youth, their minds are being destroyed, a destruction of their minds, because he who gets to the mind first wins. And the media has gotten to our kids' minds. Entertainment has gotten to our children's minds. Magazines, all forms of social entertainment and media has gotten a hold of our youth's minds and has basically destroyed their minds. The destruction of their minds is paramount to the system, for the system must destroy their minds so they won't be effective when they become adults, young adults. It is the mind that we as adults, we must protect their minds. we must not only protect their minds, but we must guard their minds and not allow the enemy to infiltrate their minds. Because many of our youth, their minds, it's as if they're mentally retarded. That's because most of what they know is what someone else has given them. And because they can't process all which they know, and that which they have been given has been lies, they can't do anything about it. So therefore, these youth, these young people, I'm talking about young people from the ages of anywhere from 10 to possibly 30, even 35 if you want to. We can stretch it to 40, although they may not be considered as youth, but their minds are youth. Their minds are young. Their minds are juvenile because their minds are destroyed. This is why we're in the situation we're in. And not only that, another aspect of the program that I wanted to talk about today is a program of indifference. That means that we as adults could care less about our youth. We care less about them. We look at them, we talk about them and what they're not doing, but yet we're not interested in helping them. We're basically inactive. We're very inactive. And this is why the African American young people are going through so much, because of people like you and people like me who don't care enough for them to even help assist them in their situation that they find themselves in. We don't even want to have a listening ear to them. We don't even want to help them get through and get over the hump that they're struggling with right now. And last but not least, our youth program that I'm rolling out today, that you have to admit that's true, that's going on, is a program of assistance. Now, they're being assisted, all right, but our youth are being assisted to go to prison, to go to jail, to be incarcerated, to be debilitated in some type of way, to be detained. This is what's going on right now. When you look at from school to the prison pipeline and what you find, it is appalling. It is flabbergasted. It is mind-swelling what you see, how our youth are being treated as they're being pushed. Those who are even in some type of educational institution, they're going straight to jail, straight to prison. And so their future is in the balance. We have 46 million African Americans that live in the United States of America. And out of those 46 million African Americans, when you look at the number of the young men, the young women that are in this country, you got to go down to about 20 million of them. And of those 20 million, those who are of the ages that I'm talking about, you have about 12 to 13 million young people whose lives are just wasted. And yet you and I sit around as adults and we do nothing to try to assist or to help them. This is why they turn to drugs. This is why they turn to alcohol. This is why they turn to sex. This is why they turn to a confusion of their gender roles. Because we have not done a sharp enough job of helping them stay on that right and narrow path. And I know some of you out there, young men and young women out there, you're doing what you have to do. I mean, you're gang banging and you're doing what you feel is necessary to survive. But I want to let you know something about that too. Murphy's Law, it basically tells you that if you continue to do that, you're going to get caught. You're not only going to get caught, you could get killed. So if you're stacking that cheddar and if you have that cheese and you're having all this success right now economically because of the lifestyle, and I don't condone it, but why don't you get out the game and make that work for you and do something positive and understand that we're fighting a losing battle? I mean, the law of averages is going to tell you you're going to get caught. And all of you sisters and brothers out there who are older, you ought to be ashamed of yourself to be complicit in this, to applaud them. And then when you're standing over their casket, you want to know where we went wrong. We went wrong because we didn't try to give them another avenue to go, another avenue to get through, and another avenue to learn that this is what life is really about. Because they have to realize that they have generations of young ones to come behind them. And once they're gone, it's going to cut off the lifeline of what we have as a people, as a race of people. And so I just wanted to come to you today to talk to you briefly about the youth program that we find our youth in. And once again, I don't want you to think that our youth are just the ages of maybe from 10 to 15. I'm stretching that thing all the way out to possibly 40. Because if you look at what's going on in our society, you see that we are in dire straits. We are in trouble as a people. And I'm begging you, I'm pleading with you, I'm asking you as adults to step our game up, to get involved in our youth's lives, to be there for someone, to rescue those brothers and sisters who don't seem to have a way out because of us. They really don't have a way out because we have not seen and touched. Our hearts have not been touched enough whereby we want to get involved in their lives to make a vast difference. And so I just wanted to talk to you today about the youth program that our youth find themselves in. And this is a serious matter. And I wanted you to know that if you could subscribe to this channel, we would appreciate it. If you could just tune in and watch us when we come on and hit the little bell so whenever we give these speeches, you can take advantage of these speeches, because this is something that all of us need to look at. We need to listen to. We need to stop being stubborn, stop being pig-headed, stop being hard-headed. And don't write in the comments when you watch this, don't come down on me for trying to help our youth. You have to understand it's time out for the childishness. We have to be serious. Don't write comments about how I'm coming down on the youth. I'm dealing with reality. This is exactly where we are as a people. And how dare you or anyone else write in and say something that is ignorant about the fact that a man is talking about trying to rescue those of us who are really struggling, and yet you're writing in to try to criticize the man as opposed to listen to what the man is saying so that he can help these youth try to get themselves together, because our youth are dying. Our youth are just out there, and it's not just their fault. It's our fault, because we have gotten what we want, some of us. And we don't know how to be reciprocal. We don't know how to share. We don't know how to give back to the community. We don't know how to give back to our people, those people that are struggling. So I come to you today in love, because I love the youth. I want our youth to succeed. This is why I'm doing this, because I want them to know that there's someone out there that really cares for them. And I want you to realize that we have a heart of gold. We want to help you. You are a jewel to us, youth. I know some of you are going through so much right now. You're struggling. You're tired. You're just exhausted. And I'm saying, don't give up. Don't give up. Because there are people that are out here that want you to succeed. Everyone doesn't want you to fail as you may think. There are people that love you. There are people that want you to be a success in this life. And I don't mean a material success, but a success to get through this life so that you can be a great grandfather or a great grandmother, and you can then give back to your great grandchildren the same thing that we are giving to you now, and that is giving you life. My name is Jahi. I'm with the Liberation Center, SA. That stands for San Antonio. And I just hope that something that I said will resonate in your mind, will resonate in your heart, and that you and your whole family can sit down and watch this brief session, and that you can talk about some of the challenges that our youth are going through, and talk to your sons and daughters. And those of us who are having children that are not understanding what's going on, just be there for them, to listen to them and do some research and to help them. And I know many of you don't have fathers, you don't have mothers, because they're incarcerated, they're detained. But there are some people out there that you can reach out to, those people that are serious, that can help you. Because we have to start facing the fact that we're losing our people, we're losing our young people, and instead of us acting as if it's not going on, sticking our heads in the sand, we have to get them out of the sand and own up to the fact that if we're going to thrive, if we're going to succeed, it's going to have to be people who are conscious, people who are serious, people who understand, and people who want to help those youth, those young people, again, from the ages of 10 to 40, to help them, because we all need help. Hotep, brothers and sisters. I'll see you around soon. Take this to heart. Have a wonderful day.